Finally, it's here. The new Kia Sportage. COVID stuff locked it down. We're supposed to test this in Germany last year. This is the GT line, a 1.6 litre diesel mild hybrid version. So there's going to be a petrol, mild hybrid diesel, and there'll also be a plug-in hybrid coming this June, give or take. So there is a plug-in version of this coming as well. But right now, I'm looking at the 1.6 litre diesel because this is on your driveway for 43 grand. To kind of put that in context, so the 1.6 mild hybrid starts at 38,000 euro, 38 grand. Okay, I want you to keep that price in your head for a minute and stretches its way all the way out of 44,500 for the GT line MHEV SR version of it. I think it looks really good in white, very sharp design. Looking at the front here for a minute, just love this grille, this kind of a crystal grille thing going on. It's such a pretty looking car. I actually think it's probably one of the prettiest looking cars on the road today in its own way. And I know a lot of these cars these days are looking like spaceships, particularly electric cars look like something that came out of Blade Runner, and it's making older cars look different, but this looks outstanding. So let's have a little look around the outside and see what we think of it. So the side then looks, you know, you got this kind of wraparound bulbous bit here in the front from the light system. But essentially you got two wheels, you got a bit of black that's breaking it up. But what I do like is that the doors open nice and wide like the old Sportage, but the back door also opens super wide like the old Sportage. So you've tons of room to get stuff in here, get kids in here, to get your back in so you can put kids into child seats as well. These are all very important part and parcel for a family car. Family cars have to be able to do all that. So from terms of design, I kind of like the exterior look. We'll just have a little look at the back of it here. So the back of this does look a little bit like the EV6, a kind of a flat version of it instead of the curved version we see in the other GT6. This GT Line 1 comes with an electronic tailgate as well, electric. So it'll open, you just gotta wait for it to happen. And then you get a considerable size boot inside with a little bit of storage underneath as well. But in this, because it's a mild hybrid, you don't have to have anywhere to store cables because this doesn't plug in, not yet, not till June. But it is running on a 1.6 litre diesel. You get a nice little tonneau cover. Some of the tech and some of the look of it comes from the old Sportage. So it'll be very familiar to anyone who's got a Sportage already, that this one is actually very good. It's quite loud. Does have a bounce back feature, so you're not going to kill your children when it's closing. That'll close on a second. Tell you what we do, we'll take it for a little spin, see what it's like to drive as well. A quick word on the interior fit and finish of the new Sportage. It's still up there with all the rest of them. Room in here for 4 in comfort with a centre armrest. You also get USB ports in the back of the seats and little coat hangers to go with it. Interior, you got 2 massive screens here that allow you to be able to do absolutely everything. Plenty of adjustments here across the dashboard, included heated seats, heated steering wheel, USB ports both C and A, and then everything is finished just so well inside this car. It's really hard to see what's wrong with it. So it's a little weird getting into a manual, and I've had a few manuals recently. It's just kind of strange getting into one after all this time and hearing the whole diesel engine sound, and you know, it all feels a little bit weird, but this feels like a Sportage, lads, which is definitely nothing wrong with that. I've always had a soft spot for Sportage. It's one of the older cars that I've had on the fleet over the years, and like here's a clip of me reviewing the first Sportage. The build quality, the kit, everything you get is second to none. It's got Germanic build quality about everything it does. And the designer of this actually designed the Audi TT as well. See my dark hair? Look at how this job has aged me. But this is the 1.6 litre. The 1.7 is gone, 1.6 is in now. It's got a turbo. It's a mild hybrid, so it's a... mild hybrids aren't... If I'm honest with you, mild hybrids are a little bit of a weird yoke. I'm not sure they do a whole lot to lower the overall CO2 of a fleet or anything. I wasn't at a destination. I just think that they take the pressure off running certain systems within the car because they run things like air conditioning or the electrics of the car, essentially. It's quiet. Driving around town here, it seems like a nice thing. We're coming into a small town here. It seems very well put together. Suspension is exceptional, as usual. Plus, it looks deadly. Like, you have to admit, For an SUV, I think it's probably one of the better looking ones. I'd put this up there with the Skoda Kodiaq, although in a little bit of a different segment, because the Kodiaq has 7 seats, this has 5. So Kodiaq could be a bigger vehicle, but really, this is pretty big for me now. I've always liked Sportage, and this I don't think is going to feel any different. I think it's just going to be one of those cars that you buy and go, yep, I don't know why I didn't buy a Sportage all along. Now, plug-in hybrid will arrive in June of this year, which will be interesting to see as well. Again, powered by a petrol engine. There is petrol engine cars here, but they're all they're non-plug-in ones. They're just petrol engine cars. This one is a 1.6 litre diesel, and I think at the moment it'll be the plum one. And I know a lot of you are going to go, well, what about diesels going away? Well, you know what? Second-hand cars are always worth what second-hand cars are worth, no matter what fuels them. Look at the price of diesel and petrol powered cars right now, and we're in a fuel crisis and electric cars are ready to go and everyone wants to buy them, and yet at the top end of the market the petrol and diesel powered cars are still fetching a hefty fee out there. So I wouldn't really have much of a fear for the next 3 to 5 or even 10 years about the value of your diesel car or your petrol car. This has plenty of poke too. I didn't think it would feel so pokey. It's only 1.6, but it actually does have a little pickup. Yeah, it does. It has 6-speed gearbox as well, which is quite nice. Great for cruising when you come out on the motorway, especially in the smaller engine stuff. Smaller engines don't do so well on the motorway. They never have. They don't cruise as well, you know. But this feels very, very well put together. Hats off again, Kia. They really have done a great job on this. This EV6, two of my favourite cars on the market at the moment. I will have a full review of this car, so I will be testing it very, very heavily next week, because I really want to test what that diesel engine can do over range and just see what kind of mileage I can get out of it. And I will test that next week, as I do have a heavy week of travel around Ireland next week. This week, not so much. I'm going on an international trip this week, so I don't have a lot of mileage to do. But this is... I can't really put my finger on why I like this so much. It just feels like a more substantial car than it actually is, and it feels like such a good car to drive. There is a lot of benefits to this car, and if you're looking at the EV range and stuff right now and you don't like the look of it, or you don't like the waiting time for it, or whatever it is, maybe you should look at something like this, because if you're going PCP, you're going to flip this in 3 years' time anyway. I mean, what's the difference? If you're going higher purchase, maybe you're going to hold it on to a bit longer than that, but sure, hold on to it. What's going to happen? There's nothing going to happen. The fuels aren't going away or anything, because all these cars are still going to be around in 10 or 15 years' time. That's just the nature of things. My car is 16, 14, 15 years old now, so I'm still going strong. It's all right. I'm okay with that. Anyway, full review of this next week. First impressions, out of the box, 10 out of 10. I really like this car. I think it's just a solid yoke. Yeah, look, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've hit the subscribe button. We're working very, very hard on this channel to do as many things as we possibly can and make it as adventurous as we could. So if you want to support us, brilliant. Hit the Patreon links, hit the PayPal links. But the free way to support the channel and support each other is just subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button. Get us up to 100,000 followers. See what happens from there, right? Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and until the next time, I'll see you on the far side of this bridge and the tractor here. How are you? Hi, Greebies. I don't even know where I am anymore.